Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Sonic and the Glitchless Gauntlet. This is a GDQ hotfix that takes us around the speedscape of Sonic the Hedgehog, looking at glitchless runs or no major glitches. We did have a little moment there with the tech, but it is alright because hopefully now we should have Speedbreaker and kirbymastah showing off Sonic Rush Adventure.
So hi, I'm Speedbreaker55. I run Sonic Rush Adventure, as well as Rush and Colors DS, which are the other games in this series, and this is the second one. So in this category, 80% all Chaos Emeralds. We'll be collecting all the Chaos Emeralds before beating the game itself, and normally we'd have upgrades for the later races, but as those can only be done post-game, we won't be having any for this run, so making these races even more of the challenge than they normally would be, as in the other Rush games. I'm here with kirbymastah. How would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Kirby, and I've also ran all 3 Rush games. That includes Colors DS, and I'm here to help with some commentary for this interesting category. So, and we will not be going for like the best ending or anything like that. Speedbreaker is just going to be collecting the 7 Chaos Emeralds and then beating the game with them. So, without further ado, I guess we can get started with the countdown.
All right, sure. All right, so counting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Sonic Rush Adventure. So yeah, this is a really story-based game, and there's a lot of cutscenes which we can thankfully skip immediately. Right off the bat, Speedbreaker is going to be thrown into a little tutorial level, teaching him how to boost, how to trick, and so on. So for those not familiar with the Rush series, you have a boost meter on the left side, and if you have the blue meter, you can boost. The yellow meter is a second full entire meter, and the red meter is when you have it full, and you have infinite boost for a certain amount of time. And you want to boost because boosting is fast, basically. And there are multiple ways to getting your boost meter up, but we'll just be seeing that through the next level he does. And this is another tutorial. Tails is kind of teaching you to save, and you're actually forced to save before Tails lets you continue the story. And this is kind of like an interesting little adventure, point-and-click adventure kind of overworld. So like you can collect materials to make buildings, to make vehicles, to traverse the world, and so on. So we just created our first vehicle, the Wave Cyclone. You're going to be seeing this one a lot because the water bike is the vehicle used to collect the Chaos Emeralds, which you'll see throughout the game. So we're still kind of in a tutorial segment. Tails is going to be teaching us how to navigate the world map. So minor little tech here to zoom in and zoom out the map. And we want to go west to the island there. Tails is kind of also teaching you how to move the map screen. You kind of just saw Speedbreaker just wiggle the map screen a lot. And Tails is like, okay, cool, you know how to navigate the world map. Sweet. So yeah, now we're gonna go straight to the left island. And to traverse the world in this game, you have to kind of play the minigame depending on which vehicle you're on. So this is the Wave Cyclone, and this is a touchscreen-based minigame. And with the Wave Cyclone, you can kind of see a little boost meter in the upper right corner. It works similarly to the main gameplay's boost meter. You increase your boost by collecting rings, so you can kind of see it slowly going up. And when you hit maximum boost, you have infinite boost for a certain amount of time again, just like in the main game. The layouts here are random, I believe, but like it doesn't really matter for the most part, because you're typically going to have the same amount of time. You also have these boost pads you can take, and you can trick off of them using the touchscreen. So again, Speedbreaker is using the touchscreen, dragging Sonic left and right, and whenever he uses tricks, you have to follow these prompts, kind of like No More Hero style, and you get some extra boost. So yeah, you kind of want to like manage your boost, try to get to the maximum boost, take advantage of that, but not use up too much boost. You pretty much want to end the tutorial training stage with an empty boost meter, because that means that you've efficiently used up all of your boost. So you'll be seeing this minigame quite a bit, but get used to it.
Yeah, so with some optimization here, ideally you want to like get to the end of this by about 124. Eventually you get about 127, so it saves about 3 seconds. So I'm going to conserve my boost to the end, and boost for these spikes, mines rather.
Yeah, pretty much an empty boost meter there. So we've reached land. This is going to be the first actual zone in the game. And here we go, we get some actual platforming gameplay. So you're going to be seeing a lot of boost. Plant Kingdom is pretty chill. I personally really like the zones in this game. They have a really unique aesthetic to most of them, and I think that personally that's probably why this is one of my favorite 2D Sonic games. This is just a go fast. So Sonic Advance 2 introduced a trick mechanic where if you hit like certain bouncers or springs or hoops and stuff, you get to trick off of them. And you got you there. There's a diagonal trick that Speedbreaker used. That mechanic carried over into your Rush and Rush adventure. So right here, that giant jump over the loop is actually really important because we just skipped an auto-scroller. Pretty easy to do. You just have to do a reverse slope jump and just jump over the auto-scroller. So we also get a rank at the end of the stage, and normally that's kind of irrelevant for speedrunning, but in the context of this category, it's actually pretty important because the higher your rank, the more materials you get. I think with an A rank, you get 3 materials. With an S rank, you get 4. As long as you get at least a B rank, I think you're fine. Because like, no matter what, we need to redo the zone at some point anyways to collect more materials to progress the story. So, but as long as you like don't take forever, you're fine. Yeah, basically, ranks technically matter, but as long as you're speedrunning, it doesn't really matter much. There was a bit of a skip there where you're supposed to kind of go left across the water, right on top of the upper floor, but then Speedbreaker kind of just used a slope jump into water to get grabbed by the giant tree. We zooming. All right, first boss in the game. So there's a lot of luck involved with this boss fight. So basically, we're waiting. Ideally, we want to try to get in as many hits as possible overall. So what Speedbreaker is going to try to do is try to jump into the weak points and then immediately do an air dash. We want to do it twice, I think. And we want to try to maintain as many bounces as possible when because on the last set of hits, he's going to go back into the background once you land. So you want to just get as many bounces as you can to squeeze in as much damage as possible. And we know that works because Ghost Rex is going to go ahead and charge at us like this. And now we're going to go to the lower phase. There are some random patterns here. Time variance isn't really that big of a deal, depending on the random patterns, for the most part. There is luck involved, but as long as you execute well, it's not the end of the world if you get a bad pattern, typically. Except for this. If he just kind of goes around the background, that's just like a 4-second time loss, but it can't really be helped. I think the game just kind of wanted to show off the DS hardware, being like, hey, we have some really cool backgrounds. Let's just kind of have this boss walk around and show it off. Ideally, you get a 1 cycle here. Cool. And GG.
Yeah, so what's it called? So yeah, this can actually be done on the first phase as well. And this was actually a recent find.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Now we're going to head to Machine Labyrinth. And this is going to be a much shorter trip than the first one. And it can be joined very quick, just like that.
They were going straight from the Plant Kingdom Island down to the next island, Machine Labyrinth. So yeah, as you mentioned, the layouts for traversing the world map are random. Usually it doesn't really matter too much, I think. But you kind of have to just play it by ear and know how to recognize the layouts and know when to use your boost with the Wave Cyclone.
Oh yeah, so normally you would wait until you get full boost because without upgrades it drains very quickly.
One thing that I noticed from sort of some of the platforming stages that you've done so far is that instead of signposts, which we might traditionally see in Sonic games, you've been going past treasure chests. And I know that I think it's this game that has a bit of a pirate theme.
Yeah, it absolutely has a pirate theme. So Machine Labyrinth, pretty cool stage. One of the gimmicks for the stage are all the geysers or pistons or whatever that we're going to be taking. And you can trick off of them. And there's also these drums that you can kind of ride. You'll see them soon. You can also just spam a lot of tricks on them. So when you trick after hitting something, you can either do like a mobility-based trick, so you can kind of like dash forward like a cyclone, which gives you mobility, or you can do like an extra mid-air jump or do it diagonally. And then there's just the normal tricks where you just spam the B button to get some tricks. And you can build up a trick combo by pressing the B button a lot. Which is the big number that you see in the upper right corner. Whenever you see that building up, that's Speedbreaker mashing the B button to build up tricks. But in order to get a lot of boost from it, you also need to complete the trick. So you have to like know how many times you can trick before you have to end it, and then press the A button to get the boost. Because if you don't complete a trick and you just mash B, the trick You'll get a little bit of boost, but it's not going to be that much. So like one of the mechanics in this game compared to like say Sonic Rush is just knowing how long to extend your trick so you can maximize the amount of boost you gain from finishing the trick cycle. Like whenever you see like all those stars from the trick kind of going into the boost meter, that's Speedbreaker completing the trick. Which is actually a pretty key difference between this game and Sonic Rush 1 mechanically, because in Sonic Rush 1 you still get a lot of boost even if you don't complete the trick. Whereas in Rush Adventure, you kind of have to if you want to get more than a few pixels of boost. Yeah, this one also has this interesting little glider mechanic, but we're not going to see it too much.
Yeah, we'll be coming up here. Yep. Short glider section, we go to the top route. And forward choke straight after. Sometimes you can go all the way up and hit that ring capsule, which is much slower. Now it's a straight shot to the finish here.
And you kind of notice that the boost meter is kind of flashing red and yellow a lot. That's because he's hit maximum boost, and you're pretty much going to have infinite boost for a limited amount of time. But if you do anything that gives you boost while you have infinite boost, that kind of resets the timer. So as long as you keep like tricking or killing enemies, you're going to maintain infinite boost. Yeah, this boss is kind of interesting. So basically, Sonic, you kind of want to knock the ball into the boss, and there's some luck involved with this, but like if you know how to execute this really well, it won't be too much variance, relatively speaking. You want to make sure that you hit these balls with high speed, so you can kind of make sure you knock the ball into the boss. And then as you proceed with the fight, the yellow ball will show up, which requires more momentum to knock him to the boss. So you pretty much need like maximum speed in order to knock the yellow one into the boss in one hit. You want to use the bigger balls because they do more damage, and soon there's going to be a really big red one that shows up. Yep, like you see it there. So we want to try to get the red one and hit the boss because that one does a lot more damage than the others. But like during the animations of like the other balls going up, you kind of want to see if you can squeeze in hits with the smaller balls just to maximize damage. Slightly sketchy. I think we're good. Ooh.
Yes,
yeah, sometimes the balls can just spike up without warning, and you just can't really do much about it, which is unfortunate. But like, especially if they're both the red and yellow ball spike up, it's like, well, I can only hit with the green ball, the weak one.
Yep.
Unfortunate, but it happens.
Believe it or not, you can actually get like under 50 seconds for this fight. If played really well.
Mm-hmm. If you get decent luck and play really well, yeah. So it's kind of a mixture of both.
Right, redos.
Yeah, so for story purposes, we need to build, I think... I forgot if we need to build a tower or the next boat next, but either way, we need materials from both Plant Kingdom and Machine Labyrinth, and even if we S-ranked every level and boss up to this point, we're not going to have enough materials. So we need to redo one act from each of these first two zones to get the materials we need. And it turns out that the first act of both Plant Kingdom and Machine Labyrinth are the fastest to redo. So we're going to do a quick redo of those two levels really quickly. And this is the auto-scroller skip once again, just jumping over the giant loop. One thing to mention, this is kind of an interesting little real-time optimization, but you can just boost through the treasure chests if you want to. That's faster for in-game time because you're just boosting basically, but you actually don't really want to boost through them in the real full game run, because if you boost through a chest, then you watch it spin for a few seconds and then open up, which costs some real time. So you ideally want to just like run into the chest without boosting, make the chest stop you, and then just do a short jump into it to prevent the spinning animation. Yeah, now we're at infinite boost, and he's going to maintain it as long as possible. That trick right there, coming out of that pipe, is a little bit tighter than it looks, because you have to do it before hitting the hoop in the air, but you also need to do it late enough so you can make it over the ledge. But this game goes by pretty quickly, so it can be pretty difficult to just commentate on every little detail. Pretty fast game. Yeah, actually jumping over some obstacles there, so actually a bit of a minor skip. This speedrun overall is pretty glitchless for the most part, so it's a pretty good fit for this kind of context. Rush games in general are relatively glitchless, so... Yep, and there we go, just Speedbreaker stopping his boost before the chest and just jumping to the side. Save some real time. And now that we have the materials we need to progress the story, he's going to go ahead and talk to Tails to build the sailboat, which is the second vehicle that we can use to traverse the world. So the sailboat can travel farther than the wave bike. Wave cyclone? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's that wave cyclone.
Yeah, wave cyclone. They all have these like really badass water names. Ocean torpedo, ocean tornado. There we go. Talking is difficult. So for story purposes, we need to go to check out the island that's pretty far to the east. But we're actually going to be encountering a villain. Oh, it's west. Okay. We're actually going to be encountering a villain named Johnny, and this is actually unavoidable. So like in the 80% speedrun, we actually encounter Johnny, I believe. And it's best just to finish him off in the race. So Johnny is kind of one of the two villains in this game, spoiler alert. And there are 7 spots in the world map where you can find him. This one's basically forced because he's just in your path. So whenever you encounter Johnny, he challenges you to a race for a Chaos Emerald, and you have to beat him in a race to get the Chaos Emerald. So we'll be seeing that.
I find it quite amusing that in a world where like characters are called, you know, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, that we have this guy called Johnny. Like, it seems a little off.
You know, I respect it. The new characters, I respect it. Oh yeah, sailboat.
Does he get full named as Jonathan though?
I don't think so. I think it's just Johnny. Yeah, and this mini game is kind of just personally it's my least favorite, but you kind of just. It's basically an auto-scroller. You basically just chill and just try to survive. You don't want to like kill too much because you don't want to cause lag in the game. But you can kind of see like the shortcuts, hotkeys with the D-pad. You change your weapon. You can shoot bombs. You can use a flamethrower. You can shoot bullets. You can cut rings. But yeah. Yep. So here's Johnny. And now we'll see the first Johnny race. So all the Johnny races are on the wave cyclone, which is why I say, well, get used to it. And upon the 3, 2, 1 countdown, you need to, there's an input you can use to touchscreen. I think it's swipe up at the right time to kind of get a good initial boost. So a lot of people kind of have trouble with the Johnny races, at least the later ones. This one's pretty easy, but the later ones, he gets really difficult. And a lot of people actually didn't know that you can upgrade your wave cyclone, which is kind of a late game thing. And that just makes your wave cyclone better and not use up as much boost, which is, I feel like it's intentionally like intended to be required to upgrade it in order to beat the later races. But I believe Speedbreaker is not going to be upgrading this wave bike a single time, so you get to see that. So, another interesting optimization with these races is the fact that like if you hit like capsules or mines or anything like that, you cause hit lag, and like this game actually knows that it causes hit lag. So like there's gonna be obstacles where like the game's like, okay, you need to avoid these mines in order to keep up with Johnny. But for now, you don't really have to worry about it. Yeah, first race is pretty straightforward. First emerald down, 6 to go.
Yep, now we're going to head to Coral Cave. But just before then, we'll be doing a little hidden island, which is about 10 seconds. And
yeah, hidden islands are pretty neat. They kind of add a little bit of, I don't know if I want to call it immersion or something, world building. So like, there are more than just 7 main zones in this game. There are also like a lot of little minor islands with like short levels and stuff, bonus levels. And this game has 18 of them, I think. And this is the first one. You don't have to beat all of them, but a few of them are required to beat the game for story purposes. So this is a really short stage. And minor optimization, you can kind of see Speedbreaker kind of jumping on the springs just to give himself a little bit of extra height. 10-second, nice.
Now I'm going to be skipping these cutscenes, and then we'll find ourselves in Coral Cave.
Story. We just found Coral Cave, the third zone. The Coral Cave kind of has these interesting little hooks here, where you're supposed to kind of like grind into them, grab your hook, and it flings you up. We want to skip as many of those as possible because they're slow. And you also have minecarts, which are sort of like, not really auto-scrollers per se, but you can kind of like save time by jumping on certain slopes, over certain slopes. Yeah, these hook jumps are really awkward though, just because of how the inputs are designed, where you have to press the Y button to boost and the A button to jump. But yeah, so you're gonna see him skip as many of these hooks as possible. So ideally, I don't think you'll see Speedbreaker grab a single hook.
Yeah, ideally.
Ideally.
I'll jump up there. That's very tight as it looks.
Yeah, that jump right there is pretty tight. You're supposed to like bounce between two springs, but you can kind of save a bit of time by skipping it with a slope jump. And this game kind of has a lot of similar mechanics to most Sonic games, where you have like, in terms of like slope jumping and stuff, where if you jump off of a downhill slope, you get horizontal speed, but you don't get much height, which is ideal for like just moving horizontally. And the opposite's true for jumping uphill slopes, which gives you a lot of height, but not as much horizontal speed. All right, Act 2. Oh yeah, water's in this game. Did you know? There's a bit of water in this zone, and I think in the 7th zone. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see much of it. Yeah.
Wait, speed cap and go into this minecart.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the speed cap mechanic, but it's kind of hard to explain just with like, unless you've played it yourself. So basically, like, you kind of have your boost speed, which is kind of like your default speed cap. But like, you can also like go faster than your boot speed with certain maneuvers, such as like landing on a downhill slope or like rolling downhill, things like that. And so a lot of times you want to like break the speed cap and try to maintain that, basically. Which, unless you played the game, speedrun the game yourself, it's gonna be kind of hard to tell sometimes. But like right there, Speedbreaker just did a little jump to land on a downhill slope to break the speed cap a little bit, just so he can go a little bit more faster. So like, if you pay close attention, you'll notice small spots where you'll see Speedbreaker like roll down a slope or like jump to land on a downhill slope. All of that is to break speed cap and try to maintain that. So it's not as important with Sonic, but we'll see that more later on. And now we have an auto-scroller. The pattern is pretty easy to remember. You just go left, right, just alternate.
Yeah, and some jumps in between. Oh, and also we haven't talked about Blaze, which will be appearing in the next zone.
Yeah, I was starting to allude to that, being like, hey, Blaze is in the game. She's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see Blaze soon. We're just about to unlock her after this boss. So this boss, this boss is interesting. So there is basically what we want to do with this boss is we want to hit the tentacle that has the really big green weak point. And then we want to end the first phase quickly. We're going to become submerged. And there's a very specific pattern that Speedbreaker is going to be looking for. Hopefully we see it. We don't want to see him sweep his tentacles. That is not what we want to see, unfortunately. But we have another chance at it. But since we got the bad pattern, we might as well squeeze in the damage we can. And now what we want to see is him slam the tentacle down instead of sweeping them.
He's sweeping again.
That's unfortunate. That's a pretty huge time loss, unfortunately, because there's a quick kill you can do if he gives you the pattern of slamming the tentacle down, and you can kill it instantly. But it is what it is. That's just how luck goes sometimes.
Yeah, we do not want to see this pattern. Yeah, in response to Crimson Delta in the chat, that is a bit unfortunate that we hit a hook. And one thing I've got to tell you about the reverse boost jumps on the rails, if you go too fast and you end up boost jumping the wrong way, which could also lead to death.
You're talking all about all the reverse boost jumps from the rails, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And normal ones too.
Yeah. Do we have the splits up? Yeah, we do have the splits up on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can kind of see the huge time loss is not necessarily because Speedbreaker played badly or anything, but because we just didn't get the quick kill pattern. I don't know what the odds are. I feel like it's a 50-50 per pattern, if I had to guess. So if we assume the pattern is 50-50, then it's about a 25% chance to not get the pattern at all. But
yeah,
that's my guess. I'm just kind of guesstimating based off of my personal experience. So like, if that's true, then not getting the quick kill at all is like a 25% chance. But you know, 25% chance is not a 0% chance. So it is what it is.
Yeah, thankfully not 0. Because that'll take many attempts. All right, and before we go to this next landing point, which will be required for the next zone, we'll be also going to race 2.
Yeah, so all of the Johnny locations actually kind of have a little visual cue on the world map. So like, if you notice Speedbreaker draw a path diagonally down and an angle up, you can kind of see like a faint water patch in the world map. Like if you pay attention to the top screens, once the screen scrolls a little bit, you'll kind of see like a circular path right where he angled it. And that's where Johnny 2 is. And this is the best time to just fight Johnny 2. Because it's basically on the way. I think it costs like 1 second to block away for this, so it's like, you might as well just do it. I remember timing this forever ago, but it's been a while.
Johnny 1 was so good, they made a Johnny 2. I can't believe it.
Johnny Movie 2. So yeah, when Johnny's ahead of you, he kind of has these shockwaves or slipstream things, kind of like from Mario Kart, where you can kind of just chill behind him and you get a speed boost. And one of the most important things for these Johnny races is that you want to get rings. Like, rings are very important. Every single ring counts, because these races are meticulously routed out to get maximum boost at just the right time. And there is no luck as well.
Yeah, so to get full boost from no trick ramps whatsoever, you need about 96 rings. And this will be very important in race 5, because that's literally the only way to win it without an upgrade.
And you don't want to you want to like also optimize like how much speed you get when you're not boosting. So like these boost pads here, we don't want to be boosting on these because like you go faster. Like you're not getting anything out of these boost pads if you boost over them. So you kind of want to just not use boost until you're done with these boost pads and then boost afterwards right here. So you kind of want to optimize like trying to go fast when you're not boosting as well. But yeah, there's the second emerald. Now we just continue chilling. I believe this is the second and last time we'll see the sailboat, the Ocean Tornado. I don't make it a secret that I'm not a big fan of it, but that's also just me.
Yeah, I respect that. It's pretty slow and it's also scroller type, and not the good kind.
Yeah. There are 2 more vehicles that we'll see, which, I mean, I personally like both of them a lot, especially, and even though the last one's basically kind of an auto-scroller, it's also a rhythm game, and I am a sucker for rhythm games. So it's like, it just kind of scratches that rhythm game itch for me, so I don't mind it too much.
And it's fast too.
Remind me again, is this a hidden island again, or just a cutscene? I think this is just a cutscene.
Yep, just a cutscene.
Right, okay. Yeah, story purposes. I think we were trying to like build a radio tower so that we can like sense where the ghost ship is, and we want to go there.
So it's super easy to draw, just a straight line, just like that.
Convenient. And we have to cross a shore as well, which the sailboat cannot cross, I think, but the wave cyclone can. So we can't use this. So like the sailboat is actually faster than the wave cyclone, just because and it travels a longer distance too. But then we just cannot use the sailboat because we're crossing shores, and you can't cross a shore with a sailboat. See, a haunted ship. This is the first time we're going to be seeing Blaze in the game for once. I mean, not for once, but you know what I mean. We just unlocked her, and we're going to be using her immediately. So Blaze and Sonic have some crucial differences. So the basic difference is that if I were to sum this up, Sonic is faster, Blaze has a hover and a more shortcut-oriented trick. So due to the level design of this game, Blaze's tricks are a lot more useful than like in Rush 1, where it wasn't quite as friendly for like taking shortcuts with her. But Haunted Ship is one of those stages where like Blaze's tricks are going to be really handy just to beat the stage reliably quickly. So like when you see Blaze trick up or right, you'll see her just like zoom in that direction really far. But yeah, there's a diagonal upright trick that just got her to the top route immediately, and now she has a hover, unlike Sonic, who has a air dash, which they both have their pros and cons, basically. Sonic's air dash is better for just raw speed, but Blaze's is nice for like staggering your air mobility.
This is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it is, but that's okay. And the speed cap system that I mentioned is really important for Blaze, because Blaze's boost is a lot slower than Sonic. So in order for her to help keep up with Sonic, it's a lot more important to learn how to break speed cap with her. So one of the ways to break speed cap with her is to do a forward trick into an uphill slope. That carries her forward trick speed into her boost speed, which breaks her speed cap and lets her go about as fast as Sonic. And so like maneuvers such as tricking into a slope, doing a pixel perfect trick into a ledge, or landing on a downhill slope, or spinning downhill, they're a lot more important with Blaze because he just needs to break speed cap a lot more than Sonic. That's a really huge shortcut we just took, by the way. Those staggered hovers. You're kind of supposed to like go to the bottom right corner of the screen and kind of bounce back and forth until you get to the top. But Blaze's trick system lets her get up there pretty easily.
Right, now we're in Act 2.
Yep. So there's a downhill jump to break speed cap, and there's a diagonal trick to just noom all the way to the upper right corner of the stage.
One big jump to get to the top route. And we're going to be seeing the trick mastery power up.
Oh yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah. You just saw her noom across. You watch carefully again. When she tricks.
I'm going to do another one right here.
Yeah, so watch her speed carefully here. Yep. So
wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a glitch or anything, but basically like there's a upgrade, kind of like invincibility, called a quick trick, where you can trick really fast. And if you have that with Blaze and you do her forward trick, she carries her forward trick speed past into it. Yeah, so you just can't keep nooming with the speed of her forward trick. And you just go really fast. I think there's like one other stage where you'll see it. Maybe. Might be a hidden island, I don't remember. But that's like the one stage where you'll see it used quite a bit.
That's fun. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah. All right, so, oh yeah, we have a boss. Blaze is pretty nice for this boss just because like hovering gives her a bit more versatility. We kind of need to hit the core a certain number of times on the boss, get it to the center, and then start dealing actual damage to it. And then after you deal the last blow, we need to kind of chase it a bit and try to reach it, which is kind of annoying because of the lag and how erratic its movement is. Yeah.
This is really unfortunate.
This is unfortunate. Oh no.
Yeah, he managed to get his health back.
Yeah, so this game, the bosses in this game kind of have like a mechanic where like once you bring their HP down to 1, you kind of have to deal a lethal blow. But if you don't deal the lethal blow quickly enough, then it regenerates health, which is usually not an issue, but getting the lethal blow here is really annoying even as Blaze. But it is what it is. It happens. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that Blaze showcase. That's like peak Blaze gameplay in this speedrun. I think you'll see her used again later on, but not as much as Sonic.
Yeah, there'll be 3 other places I'll be using Blaze. No, well, 4. Well, one will be Hidden Island 2, which will be on the way to Sky Babylon after the zone. The other one will be to fight the Sky Babylon boss. One other one will be Hidden Island 5, and then the final boss, as you see on the bottom in Live Split.
Spoilers, gosh.
My bad.
So we just built a third vehicle, the Aqua Blast. This one's kind of interesting. So basically, you're kind of on a hoverboat that moves quickly, you can't really speed it up, but you can lose time. So basically, you want to like shoot everything out of the way. And in order to shoot stuff, we kind of have to hold the touch screen with the stylus to charge. And the bigger your charge, the bigger your shots are. Like you kind of pay attention to the charge meter, and you can just fire like huge big shots. And we want to charge it as much as possible because that's how it pierces through enemies. And that's important because we want to, 1, avoid getting hit, and 2, avoid touching stuff because it causes lag. Well, not lag, but like hit lag, hit stun, or whatever you want to call it. So that's the general idea. We can't really speed this up, but there are ways you can lose time if you're not careful. And the layouts are random. And that all goes for capsules too. We want to avoid touching capsules. We want to shoot them. Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, thank you for the good luck, Amber, as well.
Yeah, shout out to Amber. They've put a lot of work, and the entire staff really. They put in a lot of work into organizing this pretty awesome idea. I think they also organized I don't remember what it was called off the top of me. All the shiny things like 2 or 3 years ago, which is also a very fun marathon. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, if people sort of need some, because we're going to be having a break in between the 2 days, because we've got a whole load of runs for you. The previous events, we had Sonic and the Shiny Things, and we had Sonic and the Side Quests. Those are all up on YouTube for you to go and have a look at, because, I mean, I had a lot of fun in those events.
By the way, Sonic goes fast on a snowboard. So there's a bit of a weird exploit glitch in this game, which doesn't really break like the spirit of this marathon, in my opinion. But like basically, when you're on a snowboard as Sonic, and if you do a trick without pressing a direction, you go fast. Like that, you go fast. Why? I don't know, but it looks cool and fast.
That doesn't sound like a glitch. That just sounds like being clever.
Yep.
So yeah, short snowboarding segments. This is basically like Ice Cap Zone from SADX, at least the first time, just going to snowboard. And now we have the actual platforming mechanic, which is pretty short, pretty short segments. I'm gonna try to get on top of a loop here, skip it.
That was a bit slow boost.
That's unfortunate, but oh well.
Yeah, it happens.
Unfortunately, Blaze doesn't have that same exploit, so which is a shame, but oh well. So this stage kind of has this little gimmick of these ice slides where you kind of just slide around like that. You want to avoid them though, because they're slow. Possible. But conveniently enough, you can trick off of them. And now we have Ice Cap. Shoutouts to SADX Ice Cap Zone again with the icicles. They work basically the same way as an SADX, except in 2D. But you're not going to see them for long because Speedbreaker is going kind of fast. There we go. There's some more icicles.
On the trick over here. And normally I wouldn't try to get full boost, but this one up here would normally be max boost.
Rolling down the slope to break speed cap. Jump over to Ice Slide. We're going to try to get on the upper route here. Some forward trips to Sonic. And Noom around. Go fast.
Yep. Now we're going to skip this like we almost the first time. And I just lost too much speed there.
Yeah, you kind of want to land on the very edge of the slide because that's where you can like do a manual jump. And it's a lot harder than it looks at the end because that spot that you're trying to land on just happens to like be in the blind spot in between the two screens most of the time when you're falling down there. So you kind of just have to get a feel for it. All right, so boss. This is an interesting boss. It's a very interesting boss. Yeah, so we have to open its mouth, get inside, and we kind of have to go through this obstacle course. This is kind of like learning this boss is pretty much like learning how to optimize your non-boost movements because you don't have boost for bosses. And so one of the exploits you have with the physics, boss physics, when you don't have boost is that if you do like a spin dash into a short hop, you just start running at a really high speed, relatively speaking. So in these little short obstacle courses, you're going to see Speedbreaker do like a spin dash, air dash, and then you'll just see him zip across really quickly because that's how you can get maximum speed immediately when you're fighting bosses. And that's the same case for Blaze too, although not as fast.
I'm going to free fall down
like
here. I can dash towards the gaps like this. The unfortunate.
Yeah, so ideally you want... So Speedbreaker was able to air dash across most of those gaps. So you can jump over... You're supposed to jump over those little gaps, but if you time your air dashes correctly, you can just air dash across them and maintain your high speed. You got most of them.
Yeah, Blaze can do it as well, but it's much more difficult, even with Fire Hover.
Oh, I can imagine. Ooh.
It's more precise. Now we're waiting for the final phase. This one's a grown-up version.
So we have some actual platforming we have to do here. But if it'll just look like really smooth platforming if it goes right. There we go. Nice. In time for the fatal blow.
It should take less than half a second. Just watch.
Sub 130? No!
Right on the dot. Right on the dot.
Classic.
I was like, is this going to sub 130? Ooh, oh. Unfortunate.
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. Oh yeah, I actually never mentioned this, but the Blizzard Peak Zone we just did, we don't need to do it now. You could do it as your 6th zone if you wanted to. This is kind of a part of the game where you could kind of go north to the Blizzard Peaks, but you can also go south instead. The game kind of intends for you to go north to Blizzard Peaks and then south, which is what we're doing now, but you can do the other way around if you want to and do zone 6 before 5. But now we're going south. We're using the Aqua Blast because it's fast, and we also need to cross some shores. It's a hovercraft, so it can go over shores unlike the sailboat.
Yeah, we have no choice here.
And the Wave Cyclone also just can't reach.
Yeah.
Okay, So when I played this game casually, I think I have a really soft spot for this game to the point where like I just really wanted to uncover every pixel in the map. So I would spend like 5 minutes trying to see if I can reach the very upper right corner or the very bottom right corner and uncover every single pixel. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, I tried to do that as well. I still haven't done it though, even in my 100% file.
Yeah, Speedbreaker actually routed 100%, which includes beating every island and beating all 100 missions, by the way. What's like a 3-hour run, I think? Something like that?
Almost 4.
4. Yeah, because this game also does have a mission system, which I don't think he's going to be doing any of them. You do need to do some of them for the Soul Emeralds, but I don't think he's going to be getting any in this category. So making a bit of a minor detour here because so we have the first 2 Chaos Emeralds. We're going to be making a bit of a detour to Johnny 6, which I think is probably the hardest one in my opinion. Definitely up there with 7. I feel like you are absolutely intended to upgrade your Wave Cyclone for this one because this one's so difficult without the upgrade.
Yeah.
Speedbreaker has not upgraded his Wave Cyclone, so this will be fun to watch.
There's a long gun for this ship.
Yeah, here we go. Johnny 6. Pretty much need to play perfectly because we do not have a upgraded Wave Cyclone. See how this goes.
I'm needed for guaranteed victory will be like anything under 103.
And there is no luck to this. So you can like know when all the mines are going to be dropped. You can manipulate the shark movements because they're just going to come after you. And I need to navigate these rocks very carefully. Because their hitboxes are not fun. And you can kind of see him slowly building up the boost meter because we want to try to get hit max boost and then just zoom to the end. And hopefully he doesn't catch up.
Now we've got a boost here. So now we're going to keep it calm here. I'm going for these mines and boost at just the right time. About here.
Okay.
And boost. Boost, boost, boost.
Come on.
And we win.
Nice.
Hey,
nice. He was
nice.
right behind you too. Dang. Nice.
No, hey, that's what perfect play looks like. If we've been led to believe Kirby, then that's what perfect gameplay looks like. Peak physical performance.
All right. Oh, that's 3 down. 4 to go.
Massive block here.
Oh yeah, like as we mentioned, you can kind of see where Johnny is on the world map, even if you haven't explored it, because you can kind of see like a faint water. The game kind of gives you a faint hint of where they are with the little blue shade in the ocean. Okay, so Hidden Island 2. We need to beat this island in order to unlock the 6th zone, and this is another zone level where Blaze will shine because of her ridiculous up tricks. Cool. Boing. And we're done. Peak Blaze gameplay.
Now we've got more cutscenes to skip, and I'll be using Sonic for Act 1 and 2 only.
Sky Babylon is personally one of my favorites. It's just very unique and aesthetically unique. I don't think there's like a single level like it in any other Sonic game, and it has some cat jamming music too. So this zone actually kind of has this weird gimmick with these little orb thingies you're supposed to ride up on. The hitboxes are a little bit janky though.
Oh yeah, and boost also keeps you invincible.
Oh yeah, you are invincible while boosting. You can boost through flames. You can also boost all on top of spikes. I think like when I uploaded one of my old Sonic Rush runs, I've gotten quite a few comments saying, wow, Kirby cheated because he ran all spikes. I'm like, no. You can literally run on spikes while you're boosting in all the Rush games. I'm not sure if you can in Colors DS. Are you?
No, not in Colors.
Though? Oh, not in Colors.
I've tried it.
So just Rush and Rush Adventure. Gotcha. But I was trying to think if there was a time where you do it in Colors DS, but I guess not.
Now we go down here for fast jump. No, didn't get it. Gonna wait here.
Oh. Yeah, that jump is very tight to make with Sonic. It's really easy with Blaze. I think when I ran this game, I opted to use Blaze for this zone FG is a lot more reliable, I find, but then Sonic is ultimately faster if you can play it this way. So, but you kind of have your choice.
Yeah, I IO this a lot with Sonic, so it's a bit natural.
All right, Act 2. So yeah, we want to take the top route here immediately. And then hit some pass swappers to make it to this route instead. This level kind of has an interesting little gimmick where you kind of go into back and forth between the foreground and the background. The physics are a little bit janky in those times. You'll see what I mean once we get there.
We're getting there soon, about 5 seconds.
Yep, now we're in the background. Kind of want to just keep repeatedly boosting. I believe Blaze can actually skip this, but she's still ultimately slower than Sonic for the stage.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Because the skip is kind of cool, but it is what it is.
And you have to take, and when you're like fire hovering with Blaze, you have to take at least one break in between, otherwise you won't make it. I tried doing that in 9,000 and I died trying.
Ooh.
So you need at least one break in between if you're skipping that. Now in the balloon section.
Oh, this one's scary. Because like, yeah, like the balloon has a very tall vertical hitbox, and if it hits like anything, then you just fall down and you will probably die. You don't want to like make your turns too tightly. Oh yeah, there's a little pass swapper shenanigan there. But yeah, 2D Sonic games typically have like pass swappers where the game uses invisible pass swapper triggers to like determine which layer of the level you're on, and that's kind of how it determines whether you're like running through a loop or like going between the foreground, background, and so on. And if you play with it a lot, and depending on the Sonic game, you can kind of like manipulate the game into thinking you're on the wrong path. Take shortcuts like that. All right.
Oh, now I'm going to do another
Condor.
cap switch.
Yep, so this boss, the gimmick for this boss is that you kind of need to wait until it gives you a pattern that sends you up to the top screen. So we'll wait for it. We need to wait for like one of those green orb enemies at the bottom, and we'll throw you up. There we go, there's one. And then we want to try to just kill this boss. And every time you hit the boss, you can trick. And because Blaze has a much more flexible trick than Sonic, and she can hover, it's a lot easier to just stay up there with Blaze and Sonic. So basically, we want to just stay up there as much as possible, which is really difficult with Sonic. Still pretty difficult with Blaze, not gonna lie. It's not easy, but it's a lot more reliable with Blaze and Sonic.
Unfortunately, I missed the green orb thing.
Ooh,
Trying to
that is
dodge.
unfortunate.
Okay, let's do this. I can even land chains. And you don't want to see him do this.
Yeah, you don't want to see him do this, which you typically won't unless you've fallen down once. Which usually you do, just because it's really difficult to stay up there. Like, this is a lot harder to do with Sonic, though, because like when Sonic, his tricks just don't go anywhere as far as Blaze's. So the boss looks really cool when done cleanly, but it's a very difficult one, especially with the janky physics at times. And there's a lethal blow, and there we go.
You can actually get this to the point where you can't even see the lap final hit at all, which is ideal.
Oh. There's like a glitch you can do on accident where if you hit land the lethal blow, you kind of just fly off screen. Or am I thinking of the pirate boss? I might be thinking of Ghost Pirate.
Oh no, it's possible in this too.
Oh, it's possible. Okay, I was thinking of both of them then. Okay. Because like sometimes you'll land a lethal blow on Ghost Condor or Ghost Pirate, and you'll just like slowly hover off screen out of bounds, and it's like, oh well, that apparently happened. I don't think it really hurts you unless it lags, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's triggered if in this boss specifically, it's triggered by fire hovering.
Gotcha. All right, so we just unlocked the last vehicle, the Deep Typhoon, which is the fastest and the most powerful vehicle. By powerful, I mean it can go really far on the map. So that path that Speedbreaker drew is actually a skip. It doesn't look like it, but that's a skip. Because you're supposed to make a detour. You're supposed to stop on like around a halfway point to another island and then take the path from that island to the upper right corner. But if you draw your path very carefully, you can barely make it to the last island.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know this. Even while playing normally.
Yeah.
Learning new things.
Yeah. But yeah, so the mini game for this is basically you're playing Osu or Elite Beat Agents. It's a rhythm game, so it doesn't look fast, but this vehicle is like way faster than the others. It just doesn't look like it because you're basically playing a rhythm game. But yeah, this took me a while to figure out, and until I realized it was a rhythm game. I don't think the game really makes that very clear, but like once you do realize it's a rhythm game, it has a really nice flow to it. So I guess I'll go ahead and take this time to explain the side quest coming up. So in order to unlock the actual last zone, we need to go around and find these 3 relics around the world map. So we kind of need to go on a fetch quest. We can't get these relics before visiting this island. We have to go to this island first to activate the quest, and then go to the relics. If you like go to the locations of the relics beforehand, and Tails is like, we don't know what it is. I don't know. We'll just leave it alone. So you can't get them until you visit the island. So yeah. And now we're gonna go ahead and do our fetch quest. But while doing the fetch quest, Speedbreaker is gonna be stopping by another Johnny race. Conveniently enough, after you visit the top right island to activate the fetch quest, the game literally like shades in like a black island on all 3 locations, just to make it a lot more obvious on where they are on the world map. So like if you pay attention to the next time he draws a map, you'll literally see it.
So now we're heading to race 7, which is the hardest one in the game. Or at least more challenging, that is. And the time for guaranteed victory will be anything less than 104.
Was that the same case for Johnny 6, or was that a 103?
It was 103 for Johnny 6, 104 for Johnny 7.
Gotcha.
I didn't even hit the guaranteed time target. That's just the time I've got that I've never lost.
All right, here we go. So if you were here at the start of the level, started a run, you might remember me saying something like, oh yeah, the game knows about hit lag. This stage, this Johnny race is proof of that. There are a lot of mines everywhere. The game is like, you do not want to boost through these because you will slow down if you boost through these. Don't boost through them. Sometimes you still want to anyways, but yeah. And these jump pads, they give you boost, but they actually also are slower than just boosting on water. So like, yeah, this is one of those parts where you kind of can just tell, oh, mines everywhere. But you don't want to boost through them because that's a bad life choice with all these hit lag they'll have. Go. More mines. You're kind of supposed to just cleanly go between them, and then we're skipping a jump ramp and just boosting to the end. And hopefully this is enough.
Yeah, this will be enough. This will be less than 104, so we're fine.
Okay. Like, the level design in these races are honestly really clever, I feel. Like, all those rings at the end are just there to be like, yeah, you want to just keep boosting to the end. Just keep boosting, boosting, boosting. So, like, I honestly respect the level design for a lot of these Johnny races a lot. They're very clever. And they're kind of like an interesting little puzzle of like when you want to boost or when you want to not boost that you have to piece out. But yeah, there's the 7th Chaos Emerald, and we have 3 to go, I think. Yeah, looks like we're just going to be making these detours to clean up some Johnny races.
Once again, we play another rhythm game to get there. Get the rings along the way. So yeah, most of the hard ones out of the way now. The only hard one left is the 5th one. And we actually require Hidden Island 16 to get there.
Yeah, I think Johnny 5 is like all the way in the upper left corner, and there's no way to get to him unless you have like a closer landing spot, which is the Hidden Island nearby. But yeah, so to reiterate, you are sort of intended to upgrade your Wave Cyclone for these later races, which is why these are also so difficult and why Johnny's been notoriously a pain in the butt for a lot of casuals. Understandably, because a lot of people didn't know you can upgrade your Wave Cyclone. This is Johnny 4. Yeah, this is Johnny 4. This shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. As long as you don't have too many crashes, you're good.
Yeah, again, these jump ramps are good for getting boost, but you don't want to use them if you just want to go fast. like if you have a boost route in mind for these stages, then like you will typically just want to do the same thing every time. So again, that's kind of why I kind of like these, because did I just say kind of twice? Well, now 3 times. Anyways, because they're like puzzles that you can kind of piece together on boost management. I like them a lot personally.
Yeah, understandable. No, indeed, want to boost a bit sooner than this, but we're good.
There we go.
Still quite a bit of lead.
2 emeralds down. 2 emeralds left. 2 emeralds left. There.
Right, now we're going to do the fetch quest.
Each of these fetch quests also has a hidden island with them. So basically, there's another short level for each of them. Let's see. Hidden Island 3. I don't remember which one this is.
Yeah, it's in order 3, 4, and 5.
Gotcha.
It was a hovercraft one.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's a hidden island where we're actually going to use the hovercraft because, well, okay, I'll explain it later when we get there, but yeah. But yeah, I think like this game for me has definitely been like one of my favorite games. I don't know, I just really like the mini games a lot and the world building and world map. The game has a lot of extra content to it too. I think that's why it's like one of my probably my favorite of the 3 Rush games personally. Although I do think Colors is like probably a more like speedrun friendly one overall.
Yeah.
But I do like this game, personally like this game more overall. But yeah.
I just boost along here. Go down. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that can kind of randomly happen. I don't really know what causes that, where it's, that pulley thing just flings you into the ceiling. It just seems random. Maybe if you're going like a very specific speed, it just happens. We'll blame Stop Pixels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's never the speedrunner's fault. It's always the game.
Yeah, it's always the game's fault, right? All right, so yeah, that path we just took, we have to use the Aqua Blast for that path because we're crossing a shore since we're a hovercraft. The Deep Typhoon is a submarine which cannot cross shores. I think I was going to time this actually, but like using the hovercraft to get to this fetch quest island is like 1 or 2 seconds faster than using the Deep Typhoon. Because the Deep Typhoon, which is a submarine, you kind of have to take a longer path from a different island to get to this fetch quest island. But the hovercraft, even though the hovercraft is slower, it takes a much shorter path because it can just take a shortcut across the shore, which you can kind of see in the mini-map on the top screen.
But yeah, the song. So yeah, Hidden Island 16 is response to one within the chat. Yeah, it's basically the first stage of Rush with a few minor differences.
I don't remember if you do that in this. I'm not sure if you do that in this category. Do you?
You have to, unfortunately, because of Race 5.
Oh right, Race 5. Yeah, okay. I didn't remember which Hidden Island was the one that's close to Race 5, but gotcha. All right.
Everyone's gaming on the Sonic.
Right, so the Hidden Islands are also kind of interesting because sometimes you'll see like Hidden Islands themed after other zones. Like this one's themed after Coral Cave, but this isn't actually Coral Cave. You're seeing the gimmicks of the these what's it called, reverse boost jumps off of these hooks again. Skip them, and yeah, and there's also these crystals you can bounce off of in the trick.
See one boost jump, reverse boost jump here. Blaze isn't fast enough to make this, by the way. She has to take the hook.
Yeah, that's one of the huge weaknesses with Blaze because like since her initial boost is just like Blaze is more shortcut oriented in general, but she has a much harder time making shortcuts that rely on slope jumps because in order to get height from a slope jump, the faster you are, the more height you gain. And since Blaze's boost is a lot slower than Sonic's, she just does not get as much height as Sonic from slope jumps. So there are some stages where Sonic can take more shortcuts than Blaze because of that. And that's Hidden Island is one such example.
Yeah, oh yeah, the next one we're going to is going to be used as Blaze. And we're going to be taking advantage of Blaze's up trick.
Yeah, and again, Blaze's tricks go really far. So it's very nice for those kinds of shortcuts.
Just Can we kill these enemies? And we arrive.
Right, time for some blaze action. Don't blink.
That's the one-up trick we've been looking for.
Yep, that one-up trick saves a lot of time. And we're done with the stage. Alright, so I think that's pretty much the entire fetch quest. The last thing that Speedbreaker is going to do is clean up the rest of the Chaos Emeralds. He's not going to be getting the Soul Emeralds, because Soul Emeralds, which we can probably get most of them anyways, but the Soul Emeralds require finishing specific hidden islands, and then unlocking the corresponding missions, and then finishing those missions. And that also requires beating the game beforehand, because one of the missions requires beating the final boss on quote-quote hard mode with Blaze.
Yeah. I had to practice a lot in my current new run of all emeralds. And even the first one as well. It's a lot more troublesome than it looks. And I practiced that one a lot too. It really helped. So yeah, we can't get all the Chaos Emeralds before beating the game, but not the Sunlight Emeralds, because Sunlight Emeralds 6 and 7 require you to beat the game.
Emerald 3. Well, this will be a lot easier, but again, just as long as you have a boost route prepared, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, for these rings, by the time you hit all 5 ramps, you want to have at least 16 rings, so you can have 4 boosts there. Don't drop boosts.
I might have missed it if you'd said it earlier, but there are quite a few Sonic games where you can collect all of these extra things, but you only get something special at the end of the game. Is this a game where if you get the Chaos Emeralds, you can use Supersonic in the, if you go back and play the normal game, or is it just for an exclusive thing at the end?
This is an exclusive thing, but the Supersonic Super Blaze fight is only a thing if you've beaten the game and collected all 14 Emeralds in general. But we're only getting into Chaos Emeralds.
So it gives you a true end at the end?
Yes, but not in this case.
Okay, nice. This is good to know.
Yeah, getting all the Soul Emeralds would probably add and having the true ending would probably add another 20 minutes to the run, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not going to be seeing the Supersonic fight.
Fair enough.
But I think that Speedbreaker said this is a category he made up for just. I think he kind of wanted to show off getting all the Emeralds without all the Chaos Emeralds without upgrading the Wave Rider, which it's a cool excuse to do it. Pretty cool.
It's even faster to use no upgrades in the All Emeralds category, but...
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But in this category, it's kind of forced since we don't have upgrades.
Yeah, you can't actually upgrade any of your vehicles until after you beat the game, I think. So and with the safer, best ending, true ending routes, you already have the materials you need to upgrade the Wave Rider once. At post-game, so you kind of want to delay Johnny Race 5, 6, 7 until post-game and then do it then. Which isn't too much slower, I think. I don't off the top of my head. But it is slower, for sure.
Yeah, it's about 10-15 seconds slower. I've calculated it. Because it takes about 25 to 30 seconds to upgrade the Wave Rider, and each of the race is about 2 to 3 seconds slower without it.
Right, because if you don't upgrade it, your races are still just outright slower. So I think that sounded correct, because I vaguely remember timing this too. It was less than 30 seconds.
Now here's the Rush stage.
Yeah, if you played Sonic Rush, this stage might look a little familiar. We'll just let it speak for itself. And ironically, I think this is the second longest hidden island in the game. The longest one's I think an auto-scroller, so. Which thankfully we do not do. Yeah, so this game has a really interesting mission system. There are 100 missions, but they kind of vary from clear the stage in this time limit or collect all these icons or things like that. So there's quite a bit of variety of side content that the missions give.
Just over 40 seconds.
A lot of content. Yeah, 40 seconds is pretty solid.
Wait, where am I going? Yeah, I was going to go to Pirates Island, but then I forgot. We have race 5.
Yeah. So this is the entire reason he did a hidden island 16, because if you look at that island we just drew from, that's the island we just did from Sonic Rush. And we can't reach Johnny without that. We just do not have the distance to reach him without that island.
For this next race coming up, remember to make max boost without boosting from scratch, you need 96 rings. And to win this, we need 96 rings as fast as possible with minimal crashes.
And by crashing, he doesn't mean crashing the game. That would be very unfortunate. I don't think you've saved a single time, so.
Just as what I'm using the menu. Let's go to the next.
Yeah, I think that just the only time you saved is that 1-4 save at the very start that Tails teaches you how to do. Yeah, we're looking for 96 rings. Those rocks are a lot more annoying than they look to avoid. Just FYI. I've IL'd these before. It sucks.
That would technically count as a crash, but it's okay.
That was pretty minor. Yeah. Oh, look at that, look at that. Look at him going back and forth like that. You kind of had to go back and forth like that to avoid the rocks while still collecting rings. Actually pretty cool, satisfying.
And it was my 96 rings, and I can just boost to the end. And we've won.
Nice.
Awesome.
Pretty smooth. So now we can kind of just finish the game. So yeah, thankfully we don't have to actually like ride a boat to the upper right corner island. We can just warp there with the world map. Because yes, you can access the world map directly. There's a C chart here.
Yeah.
And just tap it. Like that. Pretty convenient.
And you solve this puzzle. You got this, Sonic.
Sonic, that's it. I think you've got it. Sonic, that's it. I think you've got it. Sonic, that's it. I think you've got it.
Never doubted you for a second.
I think you've got it.
Has he got it? He's got it.
He's got it. Nice.
He's got it.
I can't. Who would have thought?
Congratulations.
Right
So
now,
yeah, this is the last zone, Pirates Island. It's kind of a bunch of ruins. Pretty cool. So you were saying?
oh yeah. So yeah, Blaze is a bit safer for this, but even in ILs, you have to rely on perfect stuff for Blaze, like pixel perfect stuff, to get the fastest possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one specific jump that is a bit risky. That's unfortunate. It didn't boost high enough.
Yeah,
Ooh.
landing on that's really annoying because it's just a very small platform you're trying to land on. But yeah, the concepts of the stage are really neat. Like you kind of have these those water pipes that you kind of shoot and they turn into rails you can ride on that are temporary. This zone is really cool in my opinion, both like aesthetically and also with a lot of the gimmicks. I think one of the more annoying things are some of the crushers like this, but like otherwise, like I really like this zone a lot.
Yeah,
this is one of those. Yeah.
I didn't jump in time, so I have to do this cycle.
That's one of the spots where like Blaze is a lot more like reliable for the most part. But like, I personally use Blaze, but it's kind of more of a like it's difficult to get a fast time in general. Period with either character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Said. So it's a very difficult stage to optimize, but also very fun.
Yeah, I like the outline of this. It's similar to Venice. The water everywhere, and the cities.
Oh yeah, but there are dolphin auto-scrollers that we want to skip every single one of them. I think there's only one that we can't skip in Act 2, but that's it.
There's two with Sonic because one he can't skip because it's too far away.
Oh right, yeah. And like in the main game, if you typically kind of have to commit to one character for both acts. Although I think you can use stage select to switch in between if you want to, but that costs time. Yeah, maintaining speed cap here. Nice. But yeah, he's actually going faster than boost speed here. Oh, barely made that.
Yeah.
That's what that gap right there is actually the big reason why I use Blade, because making that gap is really tight with Sonic, and it's at least I have a lot of trouble with it personally, making it with Sonic, but Speedbreaker just made it.
Yeah, I respect that because what's it called? I had a lot of IL practice with this.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you for using Blaze for this.
Yeah, another small jump there to land on a downhill slope to break speed cap, rolling downhill, break speed cap.
Now here's the dope
And
thing
then
that Blaze can skip that Sonic can't.
Yeah, okay.
Blaze
But
can
Blaze
just fire
actually
above.
saves quite a bit of time here, but Sonic's still ultimately faster.
You were mentioning the location for this stage, and there are a whole load of like really nice places in this game. If there was one that like you could visit, I know that you said that this one sort of looks like Venice, so you could technically visit Venice and feel like you're in this stage. But if there was one that was like that you could go and visit, which one would it be?
Oh, for snowboarding Blizzard Peaks.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good
cool.
shout.
I'd probably say Coral Cave for me personally.
Okay.
I feel like you can't go wrong with
What's-
any of them, unless you're scared of heights
Or
like me.
scuba diving.
If you're scared of heights like me, then Sky Babylon might not be a good place to go. But I say this as someone who went skydiving a few years ago. But
Ooh.
yeah,
Probably say
I
don't-
got it.
I'd probably
Good
say
vibes.
not good period because of all the instant kill lasers and the high balloons.
Oh, okay. So this is the first like final boss, Johnny and Whisker. Gasp! Johnny's been a villain this entire time, and like if you watch the cutscenes, you know Whisker's been the villain. So this boss is kind of a bit of a crapshoot. You kind of want to. So if Johnny has less health than Whiskers, you ideally want to like kill them around the same time. So you're gonna see Speedbreaker prioritize hitting Whiskers, especially since Whiskers has a lot of attacks where he's just invulnerable. But you kind of want to like kind of go back and forth between them, because if the more often that they're not like staggering from taking damage, the higher the chance are of doing like a tag team attack, which is really annoying because you can't hit them when they're doing that. They're just invulnerable. And Speedbreaker kind of wants to keep Whiskers trapped in the corner, because every time he does like a jump, that jump right there, he just doesn't jump very high. Unfortunately, he kind of escaped from his corner. But this fight's kind of annoying, but also interesting, because you kind of have to like judge whenever you want to go for Whisker, or if you think you want to go for Johnny instead because Whisker's in the middle of an animation, or you think they're both going to try to do a tag team attack soon. It's very random though, ultimately, and very easy to lose a lot of time to it. Yeah, so there's a tag team attack costing a few seconds.
Yeah.
But I think we've seen like 2 of them, which isn't that bad if I remember correctly.
Alright, Whisker's
Whisker's
gone.
down. Johnny's almost down. You know, a fight went pretty decently if you killed them both roughly at the same time, because that meant you optimized your targeting pretty well. Because what matters ultimately is who you kill last. All right, Blaze, here we go. So there's a bit of a trick here. Speedbreaker is going to just kind of repeatedly hover against the barrier here, because for whatever reason, when you do that, the barrier takes some damage. You're supposed to wait for Big Swell to attack the barrier itself, but you can kind of just break it yourself. Enter the cannon. You need to make sure you fire from the cannon when the cannon's at the very center of the reticule. And Blaze is used so that it's a lot easier to get the 6 hits in a row, because you can hover in between each hit. So you're supposed to use those red missiles and knock them into the barrier again, but again, you can just hover into it repeatedly to break it early. Time will be coming up soon, by the way. This boss will go by pretty quickly, because Blaze is broken in this game.
About 2 minutes.
Yep. Give it about a minute. One minor mechanic, though. You kind of need to be careful with taking damage, because in this game, and all the Rush games actually, the more often you take damage, the farther your rings will fly. So like eventually, if you just try to survive with 1 ring, it's going to become harder and harder to keep that 1 ring until it just flies way too far from you. So taking hits is actually, the number of hits you take is actually something you have to be aware of, unlike most Sonic games. Like you kind of even tell right now the rings are scattering further and further from these hits. Gonna wait for these lasers to destroy the barrier rim.
Yeah, that one just went down his wings very far.
Blazes hover, being nice. Yeah, so he's being a little bit cautious here just because if he gets hit with his one ring, it's probably going to fly really far away and not be obtainable.
Yeah, for the best. Good.
Okay, so that shot has to be in the center. Otherwise, you aren't going to activate the lethal blow mode. Okay, last hit coming up. So get ready on the timer.
This is going to be just under 114. And yeah, and just for your information, for the 7th Sonic Emerald, you have to face this again on hard mode, and the final hit goes really fast. Time.
GG.
GG. There we go. GG. Awesome run.
Yeah, that was great. A 113. Very good.
Yeah, this was within 3 minutes of my current record, so pretty pleased with that, given it's in a reset.
Mm-hmm. And this game has a lot of luck to it as well. Especially to go with Kraken. I'm very sad that didn't happen, but you know, it's luck. It is what it is. Oh, do you want to show it off if you have time? That would be really cool.
I think we'll be good. It'll be another 20 minutes though. I'm cool with it if you guys are cool with it.
I think I was about to say 20 minutes might be a bit too long. Might be a bit of a stretch. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess I meant just in like a time attack mode or something, but that's okay.
Unless it's something that can be done in time attack mode quicker than 20 minutes. I don't know. If not, then we can just move on because we've got some more incredible runs for you lot. But thank you so much, Speedbreaker. Thank you so much, Kirby. It was nice. It's nice that we've got some handheld action on. I know that we're gonna have you on later, Kirby.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun.
I know that we're also going to have some PSP action from Sonic. We're going to have that on in day 2, I believe. But yes, no, thank you so much, Speedbreaker. Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, good shout outs to kirbymastah, who's been helpful in commentating. Also have shout outs to Diamond, and who also runs the Rush series, and also J-Dude, who recently got a pretty good time in any percent and came up with one of the tricks in Sky Babylon, which was the path switch in that too.
Yeah, that was pretty recent, wasn't it? I think I remember.
Yeah. I saw while watching his run, and oh no, it was a previous one he showcased on Discord.
I must have missed it then. Yeah, that's cool.
And I haven't updated my time yet, so got a bit of work to do.
Nice, that's always good to hear. And if people want to see more of this action, because I know that you stream like a lot of your attempts, where can people find you?
Well, I have a YouTube channel where I put my uploads on, which I'm recently doing Rush Adventure, and also other full game RTA speedruns. And I also run on Twitch as well, where I regularly do weekend streams, where I stream my attempts, and that's on my channel SB55.
Nice. Kirby, I'm sure that we will hear from you later, but I guess if you want to throw it out there now, where can people find you?
kirbymastah, twitch.tv/kirbymastah, or kirbymastah1991 on YouTube. I've been doing a lot of advanced series recently, but I've done some Rush too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good grind.
Brilliant.
I noticed that you have a upload on your YouTube. Chaos Emerald Race 5, no upgrades under 53 seconds.
Yeah, that was very recent. It was like very streamlined movement.
That was 19 hours ago. I gotta watch that later.
It's not much different from my 5310. But yeah.
Yeah, good run though.
Nice.
EG, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well. And yeah, thank you for having me on this show.
You are most welcome. Thank you so much for that run. Everybody, please do stick around. We are jumping from one Nintendo console to another. We're going to be going from the DS to the Wii, because we're going to see the Wii version of Sonic. Well, it likes to be called Sonic Unleashed. So that is going to be coming up next, courtesy of Spec Wii. Don't go anywhere, because this run, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. So we will see you very, very shortly.